Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. And today I'm gonna review one of my favorite Batman movies called Batman Begins. Now, this review is gonna be a spoiler-filled review, and if you don't want to be spoiled with this movie, please go and check it out. Check out this movie, and then come here to see my spoiler-filled review. Now, guys, if you don't know, Batman Begins was the special reboot that Warner Brothers made in 2005 after the critical and financial failure of 1997 Batman and Robin, which failed very miserably. And actually, the thing is, Batman Begins is actually my favorite Batman movie because this movie actually followed the origin of Batman very precisely and very clearly. They go super in depth with Batman's origin, which I love pretty much. So, a little story on how and in which time did I see this movie. Actually, the thing is, I didn't see this movie in theater because I was born in 2004, and this movie came out in 2005, and it was released uh, in in June month in both United Kingdom and basically US, and I was born in 2004, so obviously I was 1 year, I would be 1 year old. So I would not be able to see this movie. So I see this movie a few months ago in Bangladesh when I was very little. Sorry, I mean not really little. I mean a few months back when I was in Bangladesh. In Bangladesh, guys, movies are not that big of a deal because in Bangladesh we don't see Hollywood movies. We because Bangladesh people are do not. We are not English and we don't know any Hollywood movies that we can see. In Bangladesh, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Spider-Man, these kind of movies are not popular. Basically, Bengali movies are popular. So I'm getting off topic. Sorry. The thing is, I say this. I saw this movie on TV, and actually, I see this movie from beginning to end. I didn't see it from any like first act, second act, third act. I didn't see it from the beginning to end. And this movie actually really is pretty good the way it started. This movie didn't start with Batman's origin, but this movie start with we see that Batman. Oh, sorry, forgot to mention this time. This movie was directed by Christopher Nolan, and it was written by David S. Goyer. And in this movie, Batman and Bruce Wayne is being played by Christian Bale. So this movie starts with basically in a prison where we see that Batman, I'm sorry, I mean Christian Bale, who's playing Bruce Wayne. Here he's basically fighting a bunch of criminals who I think provoked him, and yeah, he's fighting them very brutally. And after basically assaulting some guards, basically throw him in a different cell because he's acting violent. And then there he meets, there he meets Ducard, a very skilled assassin played by Liam Neeson. He basically sees something special in Bruce Wayne. He sees that Bruce Wayne is very, it has guts. He can fight pretty well, and he is actually very powerful when it comes to fighting, and he knows more about Bruce Wayne than basically Bruce thinks. So he recruits Bruce Wayne as in joining League of Shadows, in which we see a montage in basically Dokar training him. We see them fighting, and basically, in a scene I like very much in this movie is in which, if you guys seen Batman movies, if you guys know about the comic book animated series, obviously you know Batman's origin story. So in this, basically, a scene I like was in a scene in which in training montage is basically we have Dokar and Bruce Wayne basically sword fighting, in which Bruce thinks he has almost beaten Ducard, but then the place is ice, like it's a river with cold, and because everything is ice, so he falls down the river. Then after a moment, we see basically had a he is basically warm. There's a fire there, so basically he's just sitting. Yeah, Dukat mentioned that a long time ago he actually lost his wife, and he's very sad from that very moment. And yeah, and in that moment, Bruce Wayne, I think he reflects the moment he lost his family. So that's a pretty good scene to see a man who's teaching you that, yeah, a man who is teaching you has lost a family of his own, and to see you lost your parents, he lost his wife. That's actually a pretty good way to Bruce Wayne to learn that not everyone in this world has a family. Everybody has problems they have lost. something they loved, and yeah, it was pretty good. And yeah, after a while, basically Bruce Wayne basically realized that yeah, the League of Shadows are not the best way to basically fight crime, because they actually execute people, in which a scene actually plays out in a scene in which a huge temple in which there are ninjas. There's actually a man, I think a leader of League of Shadows, I think is uh, played by Ra's al Ghul, played by Ken Watanabe. So sorry guys if I misspelled the name. I don't know how to properly pronounce that name. So yeah, in that they actually said okay, they actually brought a thief who actually steals something, so so the League of Shadows must execute him, and they give that honor to Bruce Wayne, and he's like, no, I'm not gonna execute him. So what ended up happening is that he throws a lighter in the basement, and basically that lights a fire in it. Basically everyone, many people died in the scene. Basically, Ducard, who later revealed as Ra's al Ghul, and the man that's they says Ra's al Ghul is not. He's basically the opposite. He's Ducard, and so basically he dies, and basically Bruce Wayne and Ra's al Ghul, both of them basically somehow escape. And yeah, in a scene in a mountain, basically Bruce grabs him with one hand. That is physically impossible for a human being to do. Like, uh, basically lifting a 200-pound man with one arm, that's hard. But yeah, and after all, basically we see Bruce train to become Batman in a scene when we figure out that Lucius Fox, a man who works in Wayne Enterprise, basically he recruits a lot of gadgets, a lot of armor, and he doesn't tell them what he's doing, because obviously he realized it's better to have a secret. Now the thing with this movie is it is dark. Like, this movie is very dark. It has some dark elements to it, but it's not 100% gloomy or dark. This movie has some jokes. A scene I like in this movie was where a homeless man, when he first saw Batman, he's like, nice coat. Oh, Batman says that, sorry, you got that confused. Batman says nice coat, and that was a pretty funny scene. And yeah, everyone played the role in pretty well. Christian Bale as Batman, many people has complaints that, oh yeah, his voice is like, I'm not gonna kill you, I'm gonna slaughter you. It's like those kind of voice. Like, yeah, I get what he's trying to do. He's trying to have a threatening voice, because Batman is supposed to have a deep voice, which I don't think it's terrible. I think his normal voice would do, but yeah, I get it. His portrayal of Bruce Wayne was perfect. I love the portrayal of Bruce Wayne in that movie. He is basically a loner who is being very new in this world, and in the beginning, Bruce Wayne knows how to fight, but he isn't like a martial artist. He has to learn slowly, and everybody played the role pretty good. We have Commissioner Gordon, played by Gary Oldman, who he's a pretty good Commissioner Gordon. I like him. Michael Caine playing Alfred, and I like him because he was very funny in this movie. We have Batman love interest in Vicky Vale, played by Katie Holmes, and yeah, she's good. I think she was an okay love interest. She wasn't any special. She was just a love interest, and yeah, she was pretty good. And we have like side villain, which I'll call Cillian Murphy, played by Scarecrow. Now, many people actually like Cillian Murphy's Scarecrow portrayal in the Batman, because I just thought he was okay in that way. I never like thought he was like definitive portrayal of Scarecrow, because the thing is, I actually never got into Batman comics, because like I mentioned before, in Bangladesh these kind of things are not that popular. I didn't have comic books any. I didn't ever I never even saw a comic book in my life. So yeah, that's the thing. But yeah, his portrayal was good. I have to say, this movie actually had a good pace, in which I like. This movie is pretty good when it comes to pace. This movie doesn't feel too long or too short, and basically knows what to shot. And this movie is pretty good for what he does. The portrayal of Batman is pretty good. When we see Bruce Wayne transform into the Batman, that's actually a pretty good scene, in which he's basically apprehending the crooks in a scene. And basically there's a scene in which he's kind of like a vampire, where this crook is like, where are you? And Batman basically, just like Spider-Man, he's hanging on time. He's like, I'm here, and what? And then he takes him away. That's a pretty good scene. Seeing Batman, basically Batman being very mysterious, which I obviously assume Batman is, and that's actually a scene that I like. So there was a lot of scene I like I mentioned. And yeah, you don't actually feel bored when Batman is not there. Actually, I get it. It's kind of like where we slowly figure out, because in the beginning I always think, guys, before you actually the superhero actually becomes the superhero, I mean, the alter ego has to learn. He has to basically be have interesting, which I think he was there. It wasn't absolutely boring. I enjoyed this. Yeah, many people actually complain the action sequences were not that good. I have to say, yes, the action sequence were not that good. It was kind of shaky cam, and yeah, Christopher Nolan, I like his direction, but yeah, I think the action sequence needed to be improved. And yeah, I actually like this movie very much. It's, I think, the best portrayal of Bruce Wayne, and I enjoy this. Now, the thing is, in the ending sequence, which were there were a lot of people who actually didn't like the ending sequence. Now, this is just my opinion. I actually think the ending sequence were pretty good. What ended up happening is the ending sequence, again, spoiler free review. In the ending sequence, we see where we figure out that yeah, Ra's al Ghul is still alive, and he somehow escaped. And in the Wayne Manor, there's actually a party, and people, when they leave, basically the League of Shadows lit fire on the Wayne Manor, and everything falls apart. Bruce Wayne gets trapped, and yeah, when Russell go leave, Alfred comes to the rescue, and basically they realize that yeah, Batman has to save the Gotham City, because now Gotham City is being poisoned with Scarecrow's toxic gas, and now Batman's the only one who can save it. And yeah, I actually like the scene where Batman comes to the rescue, and yeah, there were a lot of scary scenes, like they're supposed, the toxic gas is supposed to make you fear, and that's what I think it was good in this movie. The Scarecrow is basically, yeah, he was just left out in the third act. Ra's was still there, and yeah, in this movie I actually like a scene in which Batman lets Commissioner Gordon basically ride up the bat pod. Now this movie, we don't have the bat movie, it's basically a bat tank. So yeah, in the scene in which basically he shot down the bridge, I forgot to mention, yeah, there was actually a train in which Ra's al Ghul is there. The train has to reach a hub, and it's gonna destroy Gotham City, and basically yeah, destroy all of those people. In this scene, we have Batman returns after injury, and Wayne Manor, he returns, and yeah, we have a fight sequence with Ra's al Ghul in a train, in which basically uh, Batman says, I don't have to kill you, but I don't have to save you. So he basically flies up, and Ra's al Ghul closes his eyes, and basically the train crashes. Everything is over. The League of Shadows has been stopped, and then Batman flies out of the screen. That's a pretty good way to end it. Now, many people like to say, "Oh, Batman shouldn't come." I think personally, in that scenario, uh, personally, I think Batman, what he was trying to get across, that he's not an assassin, but he doesn't won't let him live. And yeah, I personally think that yeah, if he was sent to the world, I mean, if he was sent to the Arkham Asylum, it would have been better. But I think him dying, because I think slowly Batman needs to learn his way. I think slowly enough, I don't think he needs to kill people, which yeah, many people have said in the Zack Snyder movie Batman vs Superman, that yeah, I don't think Batman needs to kill. I think personally it's debatable. It's your own opinion of Batman. If you want Batman to kill, he kill. Sometimes he kills, sometimes he doesn't. Yeah, it's up for debate. I think personally Batman, in some scenarios, yeah, this kind of thing happen, because you can't save everybody. Sometimes your rival has to die, and yeah, it's up for debate. But still, yeah, there's a lot of plot points. Yeah, this movie is not perfect. Obviously, not no there's no movie in the world that is 100% perfect. Obviously, movie has flaws. So yeah, but still, I like this movie. I think this is one of my favorite movies actually seen in. Yeah, I will still love to see this movie again. So if I have to rank this movie now, guys, if you don't know, I actually rank these movies from one scale of 1 to 10. So if I have to rank this movie, personally, I would give Batman Begins a 7. From 1 out of 10, I would give it a 7. That's my opinion on this movie. Now, guys, if you don't know, guys, I have a very small YouTube channel. This is the only channel I have, and I'm thinking of doing more videos because I'm very busy. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video. Share and subscribe to other people. And guys, please, if anybody is watching this video, please tell your friends to subscribe to my channel. And yeah, I would do more reviews of which movie you want me to review. I would gladly try and do a review. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This is my opinion, and see you next time.